Aladdin star Naomi Scott for women, a lot of the time we have to work twice as hard. The Independe. Try Independent Minds free for 1 month. Disney's new Princess Jasmine talks to about what it takes to update a classic for a new generation. I don't have time to worry about what labels people are going to put on me, says. Her words could vary. She's so many different things at so many different points, Scott explains. What I love is that for an actor on the brink of stardom, Scott doesn't seem overly fussed about cultivating an image. She's happy Scott also credits Mulan with helping her see past the limitations girls are taught to place on themselves, and the assumption that they have no right to compete with the boys. I don't know where that yet. While the Disney princesses of the 1990s may have felt empowering to one generation, times change. I loved that character. Sure, she still has to choose a husband from the endless parade of gaudy suitors turning up at her door, including Prince Ali, who's actually Aladdin the street rat, fitted out with a new identity after using one of Genie's 3 wishes, but she now gets a much greater hand in the rule of Agrabah. She comes to blow. Jasmine's 21st Century Makeover gets its own musical showcase in Speechless, a brand new number with music by Alan Menken, who scored the original film, and lyrics by duo Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. Music, Scott was raised on gospel music and it's informed her style ever since, meaning Aladdin marked a major departure for her. She's never had singing lessons, and certainly hasn't been classically trained. But it was important. Speechless, in particular, works as a power anthem, in line with Let It Go. Jasmine Beyond Jasmine, the new Aladdin also carried the responsibility of tackling the original's legacy of cultural representation. For some, it meant a lot to grow up with characters that actually looked like them, while others have argued the stereotypes it presented ended up doing more damage than good. The lyric where they cut. While the animation used a cast of white voice actors, the new remake has placed an emphasis on the diversity of its leads. Alongside Scott, perhaps as a nod to the story's source material, 1001 Nights, a collection of folktales with roots across the Middle East and Asia, the original Aladdin drew on a mix of cultures to create the fictional city of Agrabah. Scott, it's an approach that's been even more enthusiastically embraced for the remake. Scott describes, Aladdin is released in UK cinemas on May 24th. The best in film, music, TV, radio straight to your inbox. The best in film, music, TV, radio straight to your inbox. Register with your social account or to log in. You can find our community guidelines in full. Create a commenting name to join the debate. Create a commenting name to join the debate. Create a commenting name to join the debate. You can find our community guidelines in full. Create a commenting name to join the debate. Create a commenting name to join the debate. Create a commenting name to join the debate. Enter your email to follow new comments on this article. Are you sure you want to submit this vote? Are you sure you want to mark this comment as inappropriate? Are you sure you want to mark this comment as inappropriate? Are you sure you want to delete this comment? Create a commenting name to join the debate. Want to bookmark your favorite articles and stories to read or reference later? Try Independent. Find your bookmarks in your section, under my profile.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.